Hey, good morning. Yes, it is Saturday, September 30th, and I thought today we would kind of cover uh, how to become successful and get the things that you want out of life. Pretty simple, right? The biggest thing that we need to know to become successful is how do we define being successful? And for each and every one of us, and you guys out there, that that definition is going to be somewhat changed as not the same, but it is the same on how you achieve it. So for me, the things that I ask people when it comes to defining being successful is successful, making $1 million, but you ended up with a broken marriage, kids that were screwed up, kids that want nothing to do with you, but are you still successful? To me, you're not. Most people do not become successful because they make excuses of why not to become successful. And if I define being successful, independently wealthy, I wouldn't trade that for having a good marriage, great kids, involved, because you can't put a price tag on that. You can be successful at more than just one thing at one time. It depends upon how much effort or leverage you want to put into it. See, that's the normal thing with most people when it comes to business, and I was the same way. I always found excuses of why not and never come up with ideas of why. I couldn't, why can't you do it? And the other thing that I learned early on is when it comes to business, you have to focus and decide on what business you want to do. You can't have 3 or 4 or 5, 10, 20 different businesses going on at the same time. It's not going to work because you're all over the place. I mean, it's like a car mechanic, all right? And he's working on cars. And then he starts taking on small engine on the side because he wants to make more money. Whereas if he had put more focus into repairing cars and getting more cars into repair, he would do a lot better than being scattered all over the place trying to do a little bit of everything. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is if you're going to be a car mechanic, be a great car mechanic. Don't take on side hustles while you're doing it. You need to focus on what it's going to take to become a successful car mechanic. And if you want to scale that business to more locations, doing one major thing over and over and over again and getting good results from it is how you grow your business. Now, the last thing I would want you guys to do would be to what I call lazy and copycats. And what are lazy copycats people? Well, they're the people that try to capitalize on somebody else's work or profession and not put the time in to do it. I can give you an example of when we were doing $700 to $1 million a year in parts. Okay? What most people didn't realize is the hours that me and my employees, even my overseas employees, put in to get it to that point. And I would have reputable businesses hire overseas companies to go in and take my listings word for word, titles included, copy it, and put it onto their listings for eBay and Amazon without a photograph. Because eBay and Amazon's deal was it had to include a photograph to have people infringing on you. What they failed to realize is that to become successful, you have to put the time in. It's not just going to be handed to you on a silver platter. And it became so bad that there were one or two companies that were doing this that I went into our listings, and eBay has a spot where you can add something to every one of your listings all at once. So I just simply put, this is owned by Northern New York Parts, blah, blah, blah. And the overseas companies that were hired to do this for these companies that were coming online, when you went to their listing and you went to their description, there it was. They were word for word. This is owned by Northern New York Parts. That's not doing the work. See, that's part of the problem, is that lazy people and copycats don't want to put the time and effort in that's needed to build a solid foundation to build your business off from. And these people will keep jumping from idea to idea to idea and starting all these businesses only to have them, fail. But keep doing the same thing and getting the same results. Instead of saying, you know what, for all that time I spent trying to take a shortcut, I could have already built my foundation for focused one business. And had I put my time and effort into just that one business of how to make it better and to make it grow, and what did I need to do, and asking the questions of why, what do I need to do to make it better, they could have already been successful. But they spent most of their life chasing things that they saw on the internet or they saw on TV. Make $1 million. All you do is just buy my books, buy my program, with these guys that are selling this crap. And that's what it is. The ones that are selling this crap don't tell you about all the hours they put in to become successful. And I always question, I think Amos said it here a while back, but if they're doing so great, Why would they give it away to somebody else? In business, you're always selling something. Whether it be promoting your own business through email, through ads on Facebook, YouTube, radio ads, TV, you're constantly selling something. But if you walk away from anything from this video, it's you can achieve your goals by doing it the right way. And that is, everybody here knows that we've seen these people before. And maybe it's ourselves at one time or another. Or maybe that's you right now. As you're chasing the next latest gonna get rich scheme, is what I call them. And you're going to expel all this energy on getting their books or watching their videos or this or this or this. And trying to duplicate what they're doing without any effort on your part. You have to change your behavior. And when I say you have to change your behavior, you have to, if it's not working for you, stop doing it. Don't keep doing it over and over again, getting the same results, which are negative, and being scatterbrained. Then had you focused on one thing, one business, and then poured all that time and energy into making that business better. You have to start from a solid foundation. And that's going to take time. And if you're going to sell a product, you need to take time to research that product and know that that product is something that you wholeheartedly agree, 110%, that it's a good product. Because people see right through you. If you're selling something that you don't believe in, people will see it. I know most of you have seen these types of people, and that is the one that's selling something that's snake oil, and you're looking right through them and saying, what is this? This guy is so full of BS. And then you have the other guy that's passionate about his business and what he's doing, and that he stands behind his work, and he's out there pushing it. He has passion for it. We all can see that too. And an example would be like the repair shop here. You have the one person that wants to get rich fast, doesn't take the time to get the business started right. Because you could have the best business out there, but if nobody knows about you, how good is it? Right? So you're going to spend the first 12 months of that business just trying to get word out about where you're at. And there are a lot of different ways. We talked about before, time equates to money. The less time you have to do something, the more it's going to cost you to have it done for you. But I think when it comes to building a solid foundation like a house, that's something that you have to do. And with that, you're going to put in quite a bit of time and effort. And you're going to look at things, okay, I tried this doesn't work. What have I learned from this that didn't work? You don't just give up. You got to figure out, well, what could I do different to get a different result? Instead of getting the same result of it's not working. This guy over here, he doesn't care about building a foundation. All he cares about is income. He doesn't care about his customers. They're just a number to him. How much money can I get out of them? Where the guy on this side is building a solid business and a good foundation knows that his customers are the only thing that's going to keep him from being poor. His customers are very important to him or her. The most expensive thing you're going to have is to try to gain and retain customers. You can make the choice of being honest and fair, or you're just a number. I don't care if you ever come back because I already got X number of dollars out of you. Who do you think is going to keep gaining and growing in the long run? Yeah, it's this guy over here. Because he has passion about his business. He's taken the time to do research before launching this business. He knows that I got to have customers to become successful. And I got to find out ways to get customers as cheaply as possible. And I don't want to cheapen it, but I'm just saying, you don't have to spend $100,000 on an advertising budget as long as you have the time and the willingness to find ways that are cost effective. You have to play the long game. You can't expect within 12 months that you're going to be where you want to be. Because if you set yourself up for that, you're going to fail. And you need to be able to dig down deep inside of yourself at times to face the headwinds against you to try to get you to fail. So if you walk away from this video today, it's don't try to be like Mike. Remember that commercial about Michael Jordan? I want to be like Mike. Pave your own way. Don't try to copy or duplicate what somebody else has done and think that that's going to provide success for you. So put in the time. Understand that there's no shortcuts. Don't try to be like everybody else. There are a lot of things that are in common with all of us, that whether we're doing a startup business or we're taking over a business, what have you, that we have in common. And that is, we understand and we're focused on one thing, and that is the business and how to make it better, how to make it grow. For some of you, you may not want growth. You just want to stay at the level you're at. It's fine. But if you want more growth, then you have to dig down deep inside of yourself and find the reserve that forces you to go out and try to find ways to get more business. Or if the business is doing really well and you want growth, then maybe it's time to start a second business doing the same thing in a different location. So it's not competing directly against each other. And take what you've learned in your roadmap and put it over here, it's going to be so much easier because you've already put all the time and effort into building a solid foundation on this one. You know what it takes. So you're just going to duplicate your own work over to here and then to here. You see what I'm saying? So if you wanted to scale it up, once you do the original and you get it working the way you want it working and you know you're on a solid foundation, then you can emulate that to the next one and the next one. So on that note, you guys have a great weekend, great Saturday. Today's Saturday. I got to get some other stuff done up to the house. We got the cupboards in yesterday. I got to get some flooring in on the addition. Got siding going up next week. But I just want you guys to walk away with maybe something that I said has kind of spurred you a little bit, or maybe changed your thinking. Or maybe you're the one to be like Mike, or the one that keeps jumping at all these things that are going to make you wealthy, and all it does is make somebody else wealthy and not you. You need to get rid of that crap. And if you're doing the scatterbrain effect, where you're trying to start up all these different businesses to try to figure out which one's going to work, none of them are going to work. You need to find one business that you want to do and pour your heart and soul and focus on that business and that business alone. That's how you grow a business. And for anybody that's been there and done that, they will tell you there is no easy way. And you have to learn from your mistakes. And you have to become a better person. And you have to stay true to yourself and your beliefs. If you don't believe in the product or service that you're selling, people will see right through you. And the worst thing is, you will see right through you. All right? Have a great weekend.